seek refuge with Allah from the accursed devil. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. We were talking about the advantages of developing emotional intelligence. One of the social advantages of emotional intelligence is achieving success in leadership and in managing other people. A person with developed emotional intelligence is going to succeed in their life. Why? Why success in your life? Listen carefully. We always face many options, right? We must always choose this or that. When choosing between the options you have, in selecting one alternative and rejecting another, what is the main factor for you? What you want or what benefits you? Many times, what we want is not what benefits us in achieving our goals. Now, a simple example. Tomorrow you have an exam and there is a football match. What you want is to go sit and see how that football match goes. Because you care about it, you want it. But what benefits you is to go study, to prepare for the exam in the morning. So you have two alternatives. Which one are you going to choose? What your emotion follows, or what your logic, your intellect tells you. What then is the main factor of your success? Which of the two is deciding for you? If you have developed emotional intelligence, your intelligence will manage your emotion, quiet it down, and decide for you, come on, let's study. You have an exam tomorrow. But if you are one of those people, oh, it doesn't matter, dude. You start off just like those people who say, relax, it's no big deal. Who is yours since you lose it? So unfortunately, that word, the most poisonous word that exists in the Spanish dictionary, is relax. No, brother, take responsibility. Relax. Remove it from your dictionary, from your function. Remove it, it doesn't exist. Relax. I am going to make intellectual, logical decisions very calmly and peacefully. But it's not that I will leave myself in the hands of my emotions. 2009. Another example today. You want to go out? Yes. You have two options. You are going to serve your family, which will strengthen your family relationship. Your wife will love you more. Your children will understand through this education that they have a father who protects and helps them, and they will love you for all of this. Or perhaps you are just going out with a group of your friends to relax. Which of the two has 2 days of vacation? Which one do you choose? To serve your family, or to go spend time relaxing in some vice, supposedly right? With your friends, or with your buddies, or with your secretary? God knows which one you are going to choose. Your lust, your ambition, your desire is leading you towards that trend, spending the holidays with your friends. But your intellect, if you think a little, tells you which of the two will yield better results for my life, for my peace of mind, for my purpose. Which one of the two? If I have my family unit more protected, stronger, that would certainly help me more in achieving my goals. We can give thousands of those examples, but the problem is that many of us will still say, relax. So we are supposedly going to relax. But what is actually really happening to us is not relaxing, but rather leading us to another difficulty. Assuming we are relaxing, imagine, God forbid, it is not that God has wanted all the bad things, it is that we have wanted them. Well, if we have accepted that temptation from Satan, when we are under the pressure of a problem, well compressed by many calamities, many losses, many failures, then do you want to get out of your problems? What do? Satan wants to tell you, look, go drink, go commit a sin, indulge in a vice, entertain yourself. through a vice. And this is justified, it doesn't matter. Or you will take the path of intellect. You will take a pen, a pencil, a piece of paper. You will write down each of your failures, each of your problems, and you will think, you will consult with others on how to solve each of your problems. And you are going to plan an intellectual and logical plan to solve each of the problems. Because if there is a problem, there is a remedy. If there is a problem, there is a solution. But there are people who, when they encounter a problem or something negative, in trying to eliminate that negative thing, end up falling into something worse. They become disappointed, may turn to alcoholism, lose their jobs, or become drug addicts. But well, losing your job means that you are going to study because you have lost your job. Because I was disorganized, because I was a person who always sought variety, I was always looking for this, I was disobedient, I didn't have enough study, and each of those problems has its own solution. But if you leave this, and since you have lost your job, are you going to get high? Are you going to consume alcohol? It's going to make things worse. Before, you only didn't have a job, and now you have two flaws. You are an alcoholic who doesn't have a job. Worse. And then, once you are already an alcoholic, you say, well, alcohol can no longer relax me that much, so I'm going to fall into the other sin, which is drugs. After that, just relax. It no longer works. Then you will fall into another vice. You will turn into a homeless person, a useless person. How many people do you know around you so useless? It means that emotions, the temptations of Satan, led him to worsen his life. There are people that we can call emotional people who are so crazy. Listen carefully, they are so crazy that when they have a problem, they will aggravate it themselves and make it worse. A tiny problem is going to be turned into a problem so big that it becomes an impossible problem to solve. Those who are intelligent, when faced with the worst problem in life, will think for themselves, will study, and if they find the solution, great. If not, they will consult with this person, that person, or another, and they will find the solution. By taking the initiative, they will solve the problem. That is the main factor that will change your life. It will help you discern between success and failure. You will understand which path to take, the path of emotion or intellect. Choose, brother, once and for all. And the intellectual path is the path of the prophets. In the book Al-Kafi, the book as Usul Al-Kafi, which is a very important book, we have a chapter on Al-Akala, the intellect. There, God commands the intellect, and the intellect obeys God. This means that the intellect is an inner prophet that is commanding you from within, giving you orders. If you obey that prophet, he has assured you that he will lead you to happiness. But if you leave yourself, your destiny in the hands of Satan, the temptations of Satan, in the hands of ambitions, then you will surely lose success. So, if you want to be successful at work, develop your emotional intelligence. If you want to be successful in your family relationships, develop your emotional intelligence. If you want to be successful in educating your children, your employees, your students, your disciples, etc., you need to have emotional intelligence. A teacher who is already an emotional person will eventually lose their professional job because, for example, one day they will become interested in one of their students and the next day in another. This will continue and they will fall into sin. So, imagine a priest who has spent a long time suffering bitterly from the celibacy imposed by the church, because Many prophets of God had wives. They were married. But the church invented this celibacy. Well, then suddenly you will find a scene. For example, the teenage boys of, I don't know, 12 or 13 years old, coming to where the healer is for confirmation. And then suddenly, seeing a cute little boy or a girl will provoke him. It will awaken emotions, lust, and that temptation will lead him to fall into a sin, pedophilia. Imagine, not all of them, one of me is too much and is enough to defame religious men. So what does this person do? If this person thinks a little, that is, does not let emotion lead them to commit, we can say that sin, but instead thinks about whether they would do this, 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 and what consequences it would bring, and this consequence, and this consequence, this. So, in 2021, intellectually and logically, if you study the topic, you will understand that it is not worth falling into that sin. But when he says it doesn't matter, there is something that drives him. And in doing so, he will lose everything. He will lose his job, he will lose faith, and he is even playing with the honor of many religious individuals, just by allowing himself to be swayed by his emotions. So, if you want to be a good educator, a good teacher, a good priest, a good sheikh, you need to have your emotions under control. You need to have your intellect in command. If you want to have psychological health, spiritual health, and feel successful, you need to develop emotional intelligence. You need to control your emotions. If you want to be loved by people, for everyone to love you from their heart, you need to control your ambitions and your emotions. Then you can serve them better without desire, without being a self-interested person. If you want to achieve your successes and goals, you need to develop emotional intelligence. And that class is for that. In the next class, we will explain more secrets about emotional intelligence.